Welcome into our next leg in the race around the world here at the Pitstop Pals, part of the Reality Realm Network. My name is Kevin Oliver, in case you've forgotten.
And my name, although I know I'm unforgettable, is Bruce Heller.
Hey, just know, unforgettable is not always a good thing.
I'm making it a good thing here. People can interpret it how they want, but that's the angle I'm taking.
Um, and we're back, people. I know we were back a couple of weeks ago after being back for or gone forever, and then we were gone again. But we're back, and I think we're going to be pretty consistent now.
Yeah, I'm not gone for a week at a time again until November. So we're good for a while.
What's November?
Mission trip to the Dominican for a week,
I forgot about that.
but that's a
Uh,
bunch of months away. So we're
Yeah,
in
but I'm
month
gonna have to
number
find a
eight.
guest.
We're in month number 8, and that's month number 11. So we've got time.
I'm gonna have to find a guest that week.
Yeah, you can find someone. People want to talk to you. Oh, he froze. Nope, he's back. Cool.
Anyway, the door just opened.
Fantastic.
Oh, hang on 1 second. I think it's just the paycheck lady.
You get paid? Okay, so I'm gonna stall. And yes, I apologize to you as our audience. We've both been doing we're ministers. We've been doing a ton of church camps this summer. We haven't been here for you guys, but we're back. We know you missed us. I'm your favorite. And now Kevin's back
That's
on the call.
not true.
You don't know that.
I'm your favorite. I do. All right, this is episode 10, friends, of season one of The Amazing Race, titled To the Physical and Mental Limit. Bruce, do you have any quotes this week?
I do have a few.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have Don't say I didn't ever take you anywhere. Frank said that to Margarita while they were on a boat. And just, I'm thinking, well, technically CBS took her here, but you know. I have from Kevin
Yeah.
and Drew, check in with the king, Elvis. Elvis is going to be at the Railway Beach. I have Robin Brennan saying Bert and Ernie are just now leaving the last pit stop. And these last three quotes are all back to back, so I'm going to read them, and I'm not even going to have to tell you who they're from. I have, I'm going
Okay.
to hit you in the back of the head with this paddle, followed by, why
Yep.
can't you keep the kayak straight, followed by, because you're fat and it's hard to steer.
Yep.
I don't even have to tell you what team had that conversation, because only one of these teams would have that conversation, and it's
You're right.
and it's why we're
The
my favorite.
quotes I have, some of them the same as you. First of all, I have "Come on, you girl," which Rob said to Brennan when they were palling. Um, don't want a stupid finger to lose a taxi. Elvis is gonna be at the Railway Beach. I gotta wait till your fat ass is in the middle. You're a Big Mac under 260. Which one is chicken? That was Brennan. Hey guys,
The
Bert and
one that
Ernie
gets Liam when he gets
just
voted
left. Are just leaving the last pit stop. Kevin says I melt right into the culture, and Drew says I see how you melted right into the ocean.
off.
Why can't you keep a kayak straight? Because you're fat and it's a lot to steer. Yep. And then Joe says, for two old farts, I'm impressed with us. Those are the quotes I have.
Yeah.
And so with that, let's jump into the episode where we stay in Thailand.
Thailand.
Um, I had written at the start of this episode that one of the next two legs has to be an NEL. Um, because Phil said before that there were three, and this had to be one of them. Well, that's our next one. Um, but we find out at the beginning, Guido is more than 8 hours behind leading teams. And as they leave from the Tiger Cave Temple in southern Thailand, they get their first clue that says "Find the king at Railay Beach." By the way, Rob has a shirt on here that I thought was cool. That said, "Shh, I'm praying."
Nice. I didn't notice
And I
that.
don't, yeah, I don't know what who he's praying to, but I thought that was kind of cool. Um, Anyway, they're finding the king, but the king is a nickname that locals have given to a local business called King Climbers, a rock climbing school. Um, and to get there, they have to take a taxi and a boat. And Rob and Brennan get in this motorcycle taxi thingamajigger, and it starts to have mechanical issues. That's the first of two times this leg that their mode of transportation has issues, but they remain in the lead. They get the issue fixed before Frank and Margarita can pass them. And they get to the King, where they have to be outfitted with rock climbing equipment and then walk through half a mile to get into which is deep. Called Hiker Climb. Do you want to explain the detour?
Yeah, his audio cut a little bit in and out. So if you're confused, basically they get there, they get rock climbing equipment, and they have a half-mile hike through the jungle. And now, with that being said, we're at Hiker Climb, where
Wait,
either
you didn't hear me say that?
I could kind of hear it, but it was cutting in and out, and I feel like there might have been audience members that couldn't tell what you were saying.
Oh,
The Zoom call's not behaving. But either way, hike or climb.
yeah, it's not behaving. I don't know about it.
Oh, and it's delayed. Wonderful. Hike or climb. Attempt number three to say this. You either travel a long winding path or you rock climb up the face of a cliff.
Correct. And the climb is strenuous. The hike is not. Surprise. Everybody does the climb because it's so much faster.
Yeah.
Um, and once you climb up the mountain, you get a clue that says to go to Sea, Land, and Trek in Bortor Ayaluk. Hours of operation 8 to 5.
Yes.
And they find out they have to rappel into a boat to get back down and head that way. And Sea, Land, and Trek, by the way, is a boat rental company. It was at this point that Brennan hurt his hand on the rappel, took flesh off his finger, and thinks he broke his knuckle. Not fun.
Not fun at all.
No, especially because they end up having to tape his fingers together so that he can keep going. Also, Frank needs to chill. The way he was like being rude to Margarita as she was climbing and then acting like her biggest fan when she got to the top drove me nuts.
How many times have we said that this season? Frank needs to chill.
Too many.
To be fair, I feel like we said it 1,000 times in the premiere and haven't said it much since then. But yeah, I'm with you here.
This is true. By the way, once you get to Sea, Land, and Trek, which is the next point of talking, it's roadblock time. Bruce, do you want to talk about the roadblock?
Yeah, and so you rappel down to where. No, this is the kayak. You paddle a kayak with your partner in it, but not doing anything, down the river in search of a route marker flag. And once you find your flag, you climb into a nearby cave where you get a clue and snorkeling gear.
It was also your luggage too, not just your partner, but both of your bags as well.
Oh, true.
which adds even more weight. Um, but yeah, it was Rob, Frank, Kevin, and Joe that did this. And once they found that clue with the dive gear that Bruce was talking about, it tells you that you need to go dive at Chicken Island.
Great name.
And it's literally an island that has what looks like the head of a chicken as a big rock formation.
I was hoping it'd be an island full of chickens, honestly.
That's fair.
Or an island that serves you chicken, like you arrive on the beach and someone immediately brings you a tray of chicken strips.
That would also be nice. Yeah.
You know, as a kid, I wasn't a big chicken strip guy for some reason. I didn't dislike them, I just never really thought about them. But I've, like, become a big chicken strip guy the past couple of years for some reason.
Dude, that is so much the opposite of everybody else's story in all of eternity.
I I never really disliked them. I just usually ordered other things. But like for now, like I usually have a bag of frozen chicken strips in my freezer to put in the air fryer if I just want an easy meal. Or like when I went to the Peoria Zoo on 4th
Chicken
of July.
strips, the chicken strips are like every kid's go-to order at every restaurant.
That was never me. I ordered like a burger or whatever if I was ordering off the kids
Are
menu.
you fair enough?
But yeah, Chicken Strip Island. Someone should create that.
Yep. So, after uh the roadblock got finished for and then you found out you had to go to Chicken Strip Island. If you were Robin Brennan or Frank and Margarita, Kevin and Drew just leave the pit stop at this point. It's 3:03 after Robin Brennan left at 10:12. Um, and what we find out from Kevin and Drew is that they aren't good at climbing.
Very not good at climbing.
Yeah, that was painful.
I feel like this might be me though. I haven't done a ton of climbing, so I can't say I wouldn't be terrible at it.
Fair enough. But by the time they finish and get their clue, they're not going to get to rent their kayak until the next morning, which is going to put them a long ways behind the other two teams. Because after the dive at Chicken Strip Island, your clue tells you to go check in at the pit stop at Pipe Long Beach.
Yes.
Um, It was at this point Rob and Brennan's boat motor stalls on their boat. This was when I told you the second time their motor transportation had transportation problems. But they were able to get it fixed once again without losing any places in line, and they become first place for the episode 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
And Frank and Margarita come in at second place. And it's this point that Team Guido gets the last pit stop to start their leg of the race. After two of the four teams have completed their leg. And editing, that's got to be so weird. I can't imagine in this day and age of the Amazing Race where in a 44-minute and 18-second long episode that we'd be time stamped at 29:38 for the last team leaving the to start their leg.
It's insane.
15 yeah, 15 minutes before the end of the show.
It's wild. Season 1, baby.
Um yeah, for real. Anyway, Guido had to boat in a storm here. It was stormy that night. Um but they ended up getting a hotel because Well, it was too late. Nothing, literally nothing, was open by the time they were able to do anything. So they got a hotel. Kevin and Drew stayed at the kayak rental place for the night. And morning came, and Kevin and Drew were able to rent their kayak, and Guido was able to start climbing the rocks. And Bill doesn't think he's strong enough to climb the rocks. So Joe goes first and helps him, tells him where to grab, and helps pull him up a little bit, and just kind of gives him the extra boost he needs so that they can succeed at this. I did like that moment for Guido.
Oh yeah,
Guido has not been, I mean, they've been great TV. I'm not even going to say they're bad players.
they're just not super
Um,
likable.
they aren't very likable, but in that moment, I did like them.
Yeah, same.
Anyway, while Kevin and Drew are trying to find Chicken Strip Island, they can't find their dive point at all. Um, they just kind of be struggling. Drew gets in the water, looks around for once they found the dive point, looks around forever, says he can't find it, says Kevin needs to get in the water. Kevin gets his clothes off, gets in the water just as Drew finds it. So Kevin got wet for no reason. Um, they were able to go to Pipeline Beach and check in as team number three. Guido, we didn't really see the finish of their race, as in like Chicken Strip Island and stuff like that. We just saw them come onto the beach as team number four. I'm getting a phone call. Talk about Guido being fourth.
Yeah, so they were fourth out of four, but it's an NEL. They don't go home. They're still here. And here's the thing. They gained time. So they got a little bit closer to the three teams ahead of them. Maybe they can gain enough next week to save themselves and get into third. We'll see. But not a terrible episode for them, considering the circumstances, considering that they started 8 hours behind, and he's back now.
Yes,
They
Guido
gained
finished
time.
fourth. What?
They gained time this week.
They did. And they got lucky because I was right with my beginning observation. This was an NEL.
Yeah.
And how you make they did it. I feel like they gained time was a little bit of a stretch for the simple reason of they lost time on Robin Brennan and Frank and Margarita. They gained time on third place.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is they just gained time between
No,
them
I
and
know,
the head.
correct. I was not saying you were wrong. I was saying to say they gained time. At first, failed to say they gained time when they actually lost a lot of time because of having to
Yeah.
between sleep at the hotel before they could, because of the hours of operation of everything. They really lost a lot of time
But
in terms of.
if you just think of it as them versus the team ahead of them and them trying to get out of last, they're closer to that than they were when they started the leg.
They were, and that's why he said it. I find a hard time just looking at it like that when there's only four teams left. The finale's one episode away,
Yeah.
and now you're 15 hours behind the team that's in first place.
Yeah, they're not winning this race, but if they make the finale, I'll be impressed because they still have a bit of coming back to do. But
A bit, yeah, a few
not
hours,
eight
but
hours worth though, and I think they were like 8 hours behind third place starting the episode. So
they were not 8 hours behind third place. They were 8 hours behind first place.
okay, I misinterpret. Again, I've just been thinking of this as them versus the teams ahead of them. So when he said that, I assumed he was going off of the next closest team. But that makes
No, no, he said what he said was they're 8 hours behind the leading teams.
and I thought leading teams meant all three groups ahead of them.
Now he meant the two that were right next to each other, and then Kevin and Drew are way behind them.
Okay. That
So Kevin and Drew left at 3, and Joe and Bill left at like 5:30.
yeah.
So they were only about 2.5 hours behind Kevin and Drew.
Okay. And now it's less.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes. Um, Next time on, Rob and Brennan are gonna miss a flight. There's gonna be some tension rediscovered between Frank and Margarita. And Kevin and Drew versus Guido, who is going to take third place in that final spot in the finale. All of that
Okay.
next time. Um, are you ready to do some power rankings?
Sure.
All right, Bruce, who do you got in fourth?
I mean, it's Bill and Joe. They're they're starting last. They've still got a little bit to go of a gap. I think they can make it up, but they're starting in the worst position for sure.
I actually don't have them here.
Hmm.
I have Kevin and Drew here, simply because there really isn't that much time at this point between the Guidos and Kevin and Drew. And Kevin and Drew, watching this episode, I got little faith for them to keep up
It
with
depends
the
on if
teams
they
around
have to
them.
climb rocks again.
I watched them struggle to climb rocks. I watched them struggle to navigate in finding their dive point at Chicken Island. I watched them just time and time again almost capsized their boat when they tried to climb in it.
Yeah,
I just I'm not given much faith when I know how good the teams around them are.
true.
So who do you got in third?
I have them, and it's close. I don't know. You make a convincing argument to put them last. They've been better the last couple episodes, and they've finished ahead. So I gave them the edge. But
Actually, I think they've been worse the last couple episodes. They had a good stretch of good in the middle.
at least last week, Bill and Joe were well behind them.
2 hours.
Yeah, that's not a
But
short
they were still
time.
6 hours behind second place.
Yeah. So them and Bill and Joe are close. I gave them the edge just because they've been finishing better, but it's we'll see what happens next week.
Hmm. And I have Guidos here. Um,
If
Simply because of how far behind the front two they are.
if Nancy hadn't just completely quit on something, Bill and Joe might not even be here right now.
Not might. I'm very confident that they'd be gone.
I'm confident they would too, but there's no way to know 100% because we don't have a time machine. We can't alter the past. But it's yeah, they're lucky to be here. Dang it, Nancy.
Correct. Who do you have in second?
I have Frank and Margarita here. These top two teams are really good. They've been kind of running close together all season. I went with them at 2 and Rob and Brendan at 1 because Rob and Brendan's transportation broke twice and they still finished first. So,
Mhm.
if they hadn't
I also
struggled
have
with that,
Frank and Margarita here. Yeah. I also have Frank and Margarita here and Robin Brennan at 1. I frankly, um, I I honestly can't say that I think that Frank and Margarita are the worst team. I think Frank and Margarita might be a better team than Robin Brennan, but yeah, I can't ignore two first place finishes in a row.
yeah. Especially when one of them was first place after your transportation broke 2 different times.
Correct. So, with that being said, do you have anything else to add about this episode?
I do not.
All right. Everybody, make sure to continue checking out all of our coverage on the Reality Realm Network. Tribal Council Chat is in full swing, doing 2 episodes of Off Season a week with their Vanuatu rewatch and their random topics episodes. Um, Make sure to check out BB Brains. They are uh, going on right now with Big Brother 3 weeks in. It's been a fun start to the season. New Generation Challenge podcast will be back if they have not already very soon, as we are as recording this on the 3rd of August. We are 2 days away from a premiere of the Challenge 42.
Yes.
And Roundtable Talk will be back next month as we are going to have the first ever season of Civilian Traders US Trader with Traders Season 5 New Blood. So make sure to check out all of that coverage. Make sure to check out all of our socials. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you find us. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, whatever it is that you do on whatever site you do it on. And with all of that being said, the world is waiting for you. Good luck.
Travel safe.
Go.
Go.